Good morning, students. Today we are moving on with the next topic, that is cleavage. In this video we are going to discuss about cleavage and implantation also. See, earlier we talked about that fertilization has taken place. That means after fertilization the result will be we are getting zygote. And this zygote is having a diploid nucleus. This is the plasma membrane of zygote. Cytoplasm is present, that is known as ooplasm. A diploid nucleus is there. Plus zona pellucida is present. And outside this zona pellucida, corona radiata is present like this way. So this is zona pellucida. And this is corona radiata. And this nucleus is of 2n nature, diploid nature. This is the result of fertilization and we are calling this as zygote. This zygote has formed in the ampulla region of fallopian tube. Now, this zygote has to undergo various mitotic divisions. Now all the divisions that are going to take place will be mitotic in nature because the number of chromosomes are going to be maintained, that is 46 number of chromosomes, and it will start moving in the fallopian tube in the direction of uterus. So when the zygote is moving in the direction of uterus, it is going in a sequential manner with certain mitotic divisions and leading to form a mass of cells that is known as blastula. And these whole mitotic divisions are known as cleavage. So cleavage is simply a sequence of mitotic divisions that are coming in the zygote, and due to these mitotic divisions this zygote is converting into a multicellular structure that is known as blastula. So zygote is a single cell structure and by mitotic divisions it is going to convert into multicellular structure. But the nature of all the cell will be, all the cells are going to be of diploid nature. Now this cleavage is almost similar to mitotic division, as mitotic division takes place in the normal cells of the body. But the difference will be this cleavage is going to take place in zygote while mitotic division takes place in, suppose this is the mitotic division, we differentiate between the mitotic division and cleavage. So cleavage is going to take place in zygote while mitotic division is taking place in the normal cells of our body, or you can say somatic cells of the body. Another thing, this cleavage is very fast, means the division is very fast as compared to mitotic division. So here interphase is very short. And the division is more frequent as compared to mitotic division. The mitotic division is having a long interphase. Plus here the cells are, after division the cells are going to grow, cell size will increase and later on they will go for second mitotic division. But here the cells are not going to increase, but because of continuous division the cell size is going to decrease. We will see how this is happening. So here cell growth is not taking place, but when one cell is formed it is continuously undergoing second cleavage, then third cleavage. So cell size is continuously decreasing, but here the cell size remains constant. Reason, because once when a cell is undergoing division it will grow in size and later on it will undergo second division. So the size of cell is always maintained. Here the replication, or you can say DNA duplication, is very frequent because division is taking place very frequently and it is at a constant pace, or you can say constant speed. So this is the difference between cleavage, that is also showing mitotic division, and the mitotic division that is taking place in the normal cells of the body. Now let's see how cleavage is taking place inside the zygote. See, zygote is initially present in the ampulla of fallopian tube. If you remember the structure of fallopian tube, the anterior, this portion, this is the portion of fallopian tube, and this region is of fallopian tube is having finger-like projections, and ovary is present over here. So this is the ampulla region, and in this ampulla region of fallopian tube, zygote formation has taken place because of the fusion of male and female gamete. And over here, this is the female reproductive system. Over here, uterus is present. Now this zygote will start moving in this direction, and finally it will be implanted in this uterus. So during the movement through this direction, this zygote is undergoing various mitotic divisions. So we are going to discuss how the mitotic divisions are taking place. Basically, what is happening? This is the zygote with a diploid nucleus and with various membranes surrounding it. Now, this is the animal pole. We earlier discussed about the polarity, and this is the vegetal pole. The first division in zygote takes place near about after 24 hours of fertilization. Some books also write 30 hours. So, in 30 hours after fertilization, the first mitotic division in the zygote is going to take place, and this division is basically occurring in this animal and vegetal axis, like this way. Along this axis, the division is taking place, and this division is unequal. Unequal means two cells are formed, and these cells are known as blastomeres, plus these cells are of unequal size. One cell is of small size known as smaller blastomere, and another size is of larger size known as larger blastomere. This is how first division is taking place. Now, division in human beings is basically holoblastic. When we talk about the cleavage in human beings or human zygote, the cleavage is always holoblastic. That means all the cytoplasm that is present inside the zygote is taking part in cleavage, that is dividing completely. That's why holoblastic cleavage. Secondly, the cleavage is indeterminate. Indeterminate means the fate of the cells has not been decided yet. If the fate of the cells has not decided, that means all the cells are present over here are totipotent cells. All these cells are having the ability to develop into a complete new individual. So that's why we are saying that the cleavage is indeterminate. So in human beings, the cleavage is always holoblastic and indeterminate. So this is the first cleavage that is taking place, means this zygote has developed into a two-cell stage. One cell is of larger size and another cell is of smaller size. Now after this two-cell stage, the second division is going to take place. But what will happen during the second division? The larger blastomere undergo division a bit earlier than the smaller blastomere. That means we are going to see a three-cell stage for small period of time. This is going to divide first. After that, the smaller blastomere is going to divide, and this is taking place almost 60 hours after the process of fertilization. Now, this cleavage is always right angle to the plane of axis of this first division. This is always in this direction. So this is a two-cell stage that was formed after first division, and this will be a three-cell stage, that is a temporary stage because of the first division of the larger blastomere. And later on, this smaller blastomere is again going to divide, and we will get a four-cell stage. Now this 4 cell stage, after 72 hours, it again undergo mitotic division and it will leads to the formation of a 8 cell stage. 4 cells will be present backside, so 8 cell stage will be formed, and this process of continuous division is going to take place, and finally it is leading to formation of 16 or 32 cell stage. This is how the mitotic division is taking place, and a mass of cells is formed. We can show it over here also. This is the 3 cell stage, and later on it will form a 4 cell stage, and finally moving here we will get a mass of cells. Almost 16 to or 32 number of cells are present over here. A mass or bundle of cells is formed, and this stage is known as morula stage. So morula will be the mass of cells. 16 or 32 stage cell is formed. So when zygote is starting moving towards the uterus, it enters into the uterus at this morula stage, and this is taking almost 3 days. So after fertilization, almost on 3rd day, the morula is going to enter into the uterus. Now in this morula, an important process is taking place that is known as compaction. What happens in compaction? Compaction simply means here arrangement of cells are going to take place. How the cells are going to arrange? Initially at the morula stage we are having red mass of cells which are present like this. Now these cells are going to arrange themselves in specific orientation. How? The smaller cells, out of all these cells, this is the zona pellucida, maintaining the size. Basically the size is always going to be same. The size is not increasing, and the size of cells, because of continuous division, the size of cells are decreasing. So what will happen over here? The smaller cells, out of these group of cells, the smaller cells are going to arrange themselves on the periphery, and the larger cells will be present inside. So layer of cells is formed. The smaller cells are going to arrange themselves on the peripheral region, and larger cells are present inside it. This is known as compaction. Up to this stage, corona radiata has basically dissolved, but zona pellucida is still present. There is a reason behind the presence of zona pellucida. Basically, this zona pellucida is covering these cells. These cells are sticky in nature, so it is preventing the implantation of this morula stage at any place, at any random place in the uterus. So the implantation is going to take place at one specific site. To determine that specific site or prevent the implantation at any unnecessary place, this zona pellucida is still present. So this morula, now this morula has arranged the cells in specific orientation. There is formed a layer of smaller cells, and the larger cells are present in the center. This is how the structure is present. Now this morula is going to divide into another structure that is known as blastula. How blastula formation takes place? Blastula formation takes place with the help of these layer of cells. The outer layer of cells that are present, these outer layer of cells are going to come in contact with the endometrium. Here endometrium wall of uterus is very thick because of the continuous secretion of hormone progesterone. Corpus luteum is still maintained because that is going to support the pregnancy period. So under the influence of progesterone, the endometrium walls are very thick. They are vascular, having blood supply, plus they are glandular. they are going to secrete various nutritious substances which will be helpful for this developing embryo. So these outer cells are going to come in contact with the endometrium of the uterus, and they are going to start absorption from these endometrial walls, and now this layer of cell will be known as trophoblast or trophoectoderm. This is known as trophoblast, or you can say trophoectoderm. Still now the zona pellucida is present, because this embryo has not implanted in the endometrial wall. So this trophoblast is present over here, and inside it inner mass of cells are present. The inner large cells are present. Now after the trophoblast is starting absorbing nutrition from the endometrium, it is going to collect this nutrition inside, and because of this continuous collection of nutrition inside, a cavity is formed, plus the size of the embryo, because of the accumulation of nutrients, the size of the embryo is going to increase. So size of the embryo will increase, the trophoblast are going to be more flat, they will be flat cells, and because of the formation of cavity, this mass of cells, it is going to shift at one pole. This is how trophoblast will be present, and here a cavity is going to form, and all these cells are going to arrange themselves at one specific end, like this way. And this large cavity is formed. So these are the trophoblast cells. This large cavity is having the nutrients that are absorbed by the trophoblast, and now it is known as blastocele. And this one portion is containing all the embryonal cells, and this is known as embryonal node. And now this whole structure that is formed is known as blastula, or you can say blastocyst. This portion, this end of the blastula that is containing the embryonal node will be the embryonal pole, null pole, and opposite pole will be the embryonal pole. Plus the cells that are coming, these cells that are coming in contact, I am shading them. The cells that are coming in contact with the embryonal knobs are known as cells of Rauber. These are known as cells of Rauber. This is how the blastula is forming, blastula is appearing. So this is how cleavage is taking place. This whole time is between the 3rd to 7th day. Now at 7th day, this blastula has to fix itself, or you can say attach itself with this endometrial wall. So that process of attachment of this blastula with the endometrial walls of uterus will be known as implantation. So let's see how implantation is going to take place. Implantation simply means after the formation of blastula, that structure is going to fix or attach itself with the endometrium of uterus, and it will remain at that position till this embryo is going to develop into a fully unborn baby. And the time period when implantation is taking place is almost the 7th day after fertilization. At this time, it can be 7 to 10 days. At this time, implantation is going to take place. So there are different sequence of changes that are undergoing during the process of Implantation. How implantation is going to take place? This is the embryonal, this is the uterus wall, this is the endometrium. Now in this endometrium, I am broadening this structure to show the fixation of a embryo over here. So here a embryo is present. Now when the time of implantation comes, basically the zona pellucida is going to dissolve, because the function of zona pellucida has almost completed. So now here the trophoblast is present. Embryonal knob is there and blastocele is there. I am showing this embryonal knob over here. This is going to fix itself in this orientation. Now what happens? This trophoblast is going to secrete various lytic enzymes. What these lytic enzymes are doing? These lytic enzymes are basically affecting the endometrial wall, and it is helping in the loosening of endometrial wall. This will help this blastula to fix more deep inside this endometrium. So this wall is going to dissolve a little bit. There will be loosening of the wall, and this blastula is going to move inside move deep inside this endometrial wall of the uterus. This is the first thing which this trophoblast is going to do. Now this endometrium is having various glands which are going to secrete the nutritious substances. These trophoblasts are going to absorb the all these nutritious substances with the help of finger-like projections that is going to move deep inside the endometrial wall, and these finger-like projections will be known as chronic villi. See, the part of blastula is having now two segments, the outer trophoblast. The outer trophoblast is not going to form the parts of the fetus, but it is giving rise to various extra membranous structures. For example, chorion is there, amnion is there. So these structures will be formed by the trophoblast. The embryonal knob, the cells that are present inside the embryonal knob, they will take part in the formation of the germ layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, and later these germ layers are going to form organs inside this developing embryo. So here chronic villi will be formed, and this chronic villi is continuously absorbing nutrition, and this nutrition will be helpful for the growth of this embryo. So this is how implantation is taking place. So we will discuss next topic,